know, I've had this pedal for a while and I've never done a video on it. So I thought today could be that day. So there's lots of mini pedals out there now, and they have lots of benefits, like they're easy to use, they're compact, they're generally quite affordable. And this pedal is no different. It's the Hall of Fame Mini by TC Electronic. And this pedal has been out for a while now. I don't know exactly how long, but they have the Hall of Fame Mini 2 out now. So I'm guessing quite a while. Now there's one big drawback with mini pedals, and that applies to this one here as well, is that you don't have many controls on the outside. So if you want to change stuff on the fly at a gig, whatever, you can't really do that much. You just have that one control and that's it, you know. So if that's something that you really need and you know you want to do, then this might not be the pedal for you. But at the same time, if you know that's something that you don't need and you don't want to do, maybe you have that for other pedals, but you know for this particular case you don't need that, then this could be a really good option. So TC Electronic have done something really clever. They have created their own software called TonePrint, and in there you have all these controls and different parameters, and you can customize your own reverb, and then you can save it to the pedal. So now let's dive into the TonePrint software and let's have a look at what kind of controls we get. All right, so this is what it would look like when you first go in to TonePrint software, and then you look for this pencil here, you select the pencil, and now you're into customizing it yourself. So this is where it gets interesting. We've got decay here. So this is basically how long the reverb goes on for. Okay, so if we have it, so this is in seconds here, so you can have it all the way up to 20 seconds long. It's a really long reverb, but I usually quite like it. I quite like it long, but not too long. And now we have pre-delay short and pre-delay long. The pre-delay is actually quite important. You think of it like a buffer in between your dry sound and the reverb, the wet sound, you know, and the pre-delay determines how long that distance is. So if I put it on max, I'll just put them both on max. Here we go. And then you can hear some delay. So it's 100 milliseconds. So it's not massive, but it is some delay there. You hear that? So there is a delay there. So when I play, it's going to be a bit more clarity in the notes. So then we have low color and high color. And this is basically just you have control over the low frequencies in the reverb, and then the high color is the high frequencies in the reverb. I quite like my reverb to have not so much high color in there. I quite like it quite low and a bit dark sounding. I'm going to give it a bit more low color. Now we're on to the modulation. So if I click this on, so here we go. Modulation is basically adding different effects to the reverb. All right, it's going all over the place. All right. The modulation rate, I guess, is how fast or the speed of the modulation. Turn it all the way down, minus 25. Yeah, I think it's the speed of things happen. So I'm going to turn them down anyway. Now we have dynamics mode. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Let's have a look. And you have positive and inverse. Let's try positive. Okay, so it's supposed to react with the dynamics of your playing. So we have dynamics threshold, dynamics damp. Turn that up. Dynamics attack. How much attack? Let's turn that up, see what happens. It's obviously very subtle, but I think it's hard for me to tell right now, but I think it does react to how loudly or how quietly I'm playing. Pretty cool. Dynamics release there. But lots of options. I don't want to go in too deep on this because there's still lots more. But very, very cool to have all these options that you can play around with just from this tiny pedal. Then we have modulation. So you can choose what type of modulation, like another effect that you want to combine with the reverb. So it's kind of chorus, flanger, vibrato, these sort of things, which is pretty cool. And then you can change different waveforms in there and all kinds of settings, you know, the speed of it, the depth, and various different settings depending on which modulation you choose. So obviously there's loads and loads of control that you have over your reverb here, which is very, very cool. I love this. So the last thing I want to look at here is this section, the knob mapping, and this is, I think, very, very cool. So obviously we just have one knob here. We can, and you can see as I'm changing it, as it's going up, you can see it's changing like that, right? So here you can actually map out, this is obviously the volume, and you can actually choose how you want the volume to go, you know? So if you want the volume to be quite low and kind of stay low right up until the last bit there where you want it to go up, you can choose that. I don't know why you would want that, but I would kind of just want it smooth, you know, ish, kind of like that. Another thing which is very cool is you have two other sections you can change. So you can choose something else you want to change. So let's go to, like, I don't know, and then there's all the options that I've just been through here. So let's say low color, the low color. So that's like the low frequencies. So that changes. You can change that with that same knob. You can change that as well. So obviously you only got one knob here, so it changes everything together. But as you go up, that also changes, you know. So you could have it that to the left, it's all the low frequencies are taken out, and to the right, you know, you have loads of low frequencies, just as an example. And then you have another one you can change. So I don't know, modulation speed, let's say, you know, so you can change the modulation speed, and you can see there it's going up and down on this part, on the modulation, the speed. You can see it's changing it there, and you can assign any setting to this knob. Obviously we only have one knob, so that one knob changes everything if you set it, but pretty cool, you know. So if you're someone that doesn't have the budget for a really high-end big reverb pedal, or maybe you're lacking in space on your pedal board and you need something really small and compact, and also you don't need to control that much on the fly, you kind of need to just set it and forget it, and you know your reverb and that's what you like and that's what you need, then this could be a really great option. If you enjoyed this video, then click on the screen now to watch one of my other reverb pedal videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a great day, and I'll see you again in another video very soon.